What's going on, guys? Jamie here from JP Cars. Today you join me with the Jaguar XJ, which is, as you can see, up on the lift so we can weld it. Looking a little worse for wear. We need to get in behind here to do some of the welding. Coming around to the front, you can see I've taken out the shock here and also the brake line. Here is my practice welds. Few issues where we burnt through, and I was just trying to get the hang of the welding. I probably spent about 2 hours or so just practicing. Some of these are from when Mike and Sandy came along, so I don't know which ones, probably the best ones. I have put some metal on the car. I thought before I record and show you guys, I'll at least do some practicing, otherwise you'll sit there watching me just going, oh God, where do I start? So this is my current work in progress. I'll show you the before photos as well. It's okay. Do you know what I think my problem is? I keep kind of burning through in certain areas and having to patch it up. You might be able to just see here, that's a bit gappy. So I have to build that up and get that all together. It's overlapping a little bit, so I'm gonna have to like cut that back. Did the return as well, as you can see here. It's all right, I'm kind of tacking it in place, but I burnt through again. And I think I know why I burnt through. It's because my welder won't take 0.6mm wire. So the problem is that I can't use the wire I'm supposed to use on the thin bodywork. I'm using 0.8, which is thicker, which is more likely to burn through because of that. Yeah, so it's quite ugly, but it's because I haven't actually ground it back since I last did some spots. Because like here, you can actually see that it's kind of become one bit of metal. You know, it was like about here. Just need to grind that back a bit more. Let's have a look on the other side. That's not too shabby. I am standing quite far away from it, but that's not too shabby, and obviously it's not finished yet. This was kind of a big kind of hole like this, so I cut it out, and then I've been putting this metal on it, and I've done a couple of passes with this, and then I've got the angle grinder, started grinding it back, and it is starting to become one. These were two separate pieces, but that is starting now to become one as well. But the first thing I'm going to show you is this, and then it'll be onto the inside of the suspension here. There is one that I've got to do inside the car. You can see through into the car. So I do the floor pan inside the car, and then do this one, because if I do this one first, spark's going to be going into there. So I'm going to make a template using this piece of cardboard. This isn't going to be the most scientific way of doing it. I'm just going to trim this bottom corner a bit. That's the flap on the bottom. Got my new metal. Thank you to Sandy for bringing that round.
Gale bearers or parrots?
You know what they say about master craftsmen? They can do it all by eye. Do you know what? That's actually horrendous. Okay, so with this side, I have got this piece here that I've welded a bit of metal into, but realistically I'm going to just put a bit of filler over the front of it, and then that can be kind of brought in to make it look more universal with this. A few of these little divots and stuff like that, just fill it in, sand it back, and then we'll have a bit more of a proper shape. Okay, so now that that back corner is done, we're going to make a start on this side here. I need to remove this shock absorber and also the brake line. I'm just going to remove this sensor. Okay, so I'm going to take these off first for this mounting bracket. Jesus Christ, that's tight. Well, there you go. That one's now loose. Oh wait, it's still attached to the shock. Is that out of the shock? I don't quite know what happened, but that's leaking out of the shock. Looks like I need new shocks then. More money. I'm gonna take this drop link off. I'll get access to the bolt in here, and then hopefully this one will just move and I can drop it down. So because this one has broken here, I reckon that I might be able to slip that out Firstly, I'm going to undo this part of the brake line. 13 on there. Now I'm going to bring the car down because I want to get in behind this one. So just below where I took that mount out for the shock, you can see that there. So undo that. That will allow me to pull this side through. There's that I've just taken out. It'll probably overflow at some point, but at least it gives it a chance. Okay, so as you can see, we now have got the shock out of the way and also that brake line that goes in here, which means we've got a bit better access to this. So I've just got some tape to go over that brake line there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some blue roll, soak it, and then cover over anything that's going to get hot. And then a fire safety blanket, which can just go something like this. I'm actually really happy with how that came out. I thought that all of this in behind was going to be rotten and I was going to have to do all of it. But it literally, I've just done it back and it looks like it's just this area here. I reckon this was done at some point because it's quite thick there, like there's a little lip and there's not a lip here. Right, so I've just cut this one to size. As a general idea. So this here is a thicker piece of steel than what we've been using before because this is more of a structural piece above the suspension there, so it is slightly thicker, and as you can see that is practically bang on. Next thing I need to do is the interior because there's a hole in the floor pan on the passenger side, and then I can do the front sill. We take these T25 Torx out. That should come up. And there's some small Phillips head screws in here. One over here as well. One either side of the middle seat. So that's the centre seat belt there. I found 10p. And then I'm pretty sure I need to take these off. I think you can unclip them from the back and then put a screwdriver in there to undo them, but I'm not quite sure. It was in that way, and you've got to pull that back there. Now for the other side, so the back just pops out. And then it lifts up. Now I can feed through these seat belts. All of this insulation stuff, that could do with coming out, couldn't it? So I have to unscrew these. Okay, so I'm kind of set up ready to do the grinding away in there and then the welding for the floor pan over there. So I'm going to take it away bit by bit and see what metal is left. And then I've used some fire blankets around the electrics up there, which I zip tied up into that corner. And then, yeah, I'm trying to cover as much of this as possible. Okay, so the next thing that I need to look at while all of that is drying is this. I've got two wings that are like this and they've got holes in them. And then onto our second coat. It's looking really good. I'm happy how the wings have come out. Still need to paint them, but look at this. It's not perfect. It's never going to be perfect because I'm doing it, but that is actually quite smooth. Better than just having to buy a new wing and spend a load more money. This one is even better because it already had a structure. Like all of this was still here. It was just like a little hole. So that is actually really smart. I can still take a load out of that edge. Now going on to the rest of the car, this area in here looks really good. That's all solid. All of this has been covered in black to really kind of spice it up. This under here, it's not perfect. It's, you know, it's far from perfect, to be fair, but it's welded, it's solid. I've never done any kind of bodywork before. It ain't too shabby. This, I lost a load, you can tell there. I lost quite a lot of the shape because I didn't have any, because I cut it out too early, really. So I kind of cut it out and I lost all shape. So I had to kind of make it myself. But it's not too shabby, to be fair. Do you know what I mean? Like, do you know what? The colour's a little bit different to that up there because this is all speckly. I don't know if you can tell that. This is all speckly. Whereas this is flat. Even though I used speckly spray paint, it was supposed to do something similar to that, but it's not really worked. Yeah, and you can see here there's a divide, but when it's all dry, it's still wet, slightly wet, but tacky with lacquer. When that's all sealed properly and that, I can actually just get my polish on it and polish it and hopefully try to get it to something like it from a distance. Ain't too shabby, is it? It is not too shabby at all. That's obviously where I've just touched it with my dusty hands, but it's not too bad. Like, you come here, it's not horrendously out of shape. This one here, I'm still doing. From a distance, it looks all right. So I've got to wait for all of this to dry. I've still got to lacquer this side, and then that will all be done for the paint, actually. The only thing I've got to do is in there, because in there is the floor pan, which I still haven't finished, because my plan is, because it's quite difficult to get into it, is to actually finish everything outside, get the car down, move the car forward. I can just have a door fully open and kind of lean in and out the door. Maybe a bit easier. I'll finish those other jobs off. I will then put that in the video and then we'll have a video out of this car. Honestly, this is being one of my biggest challenges yet, I would say, because I've never touched bodywork. I broke a shock absorber, so I need to get another one of those. Unfortunately, Ben from Simply Performance has told me that that is an adaptive shock, and to get a new one or aftermarket one is very, very expensive. So, bit of a pain, but I'm sure that they will help me out finding the right one. So please do go to Simply Performance Jaguar for all of your Jaguar parts. They're really, really good. Ben's really, really helpful. Really helps the channel because they get me some bits that I need, and it's really beneficial having them as a kind of sponsor, I suppose, for the channel. So thank you to Simply Performance Jaguar. Please find their link below. I think we shall end the video there, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Please do like the video, push it up in the algorithm. More people can see the video, which means they can watch this, which means we can do more with the channel, and that would be great. Please do comment below. What do you think? I don't think that's too bad. Like, considering that I haven't ever welded before, I had to buy all the kit. Sandy taught me for about an hour and a bit with Mike, so thank you for that, Sandy. And then Mike was there as well. Mike from Tyson, please do subscribe to his channel as well. Very, very good stuff, doing really well at the moment. He kind of taught me the basics. I then spent an hour to 2 hours doing little bits myself, just kind of on a piece of metal. Then I went for it. I thought, bugger it. Please do subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, because 90% of people that watch the videos haven't subscribed, and if you did subscribe, it would really change the landscape for the channel, and we can do more projects. Thank you very much for watching. See you in the next video. Cheers, guys.